Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am answering 3 questions from Petra. 4 questions from Petra. Petra, I see you in my inbox, in my DMs. I haven't replied to you. You've asked me many questions. It is time to dedicate questions to you. Okay, if we can go in order. Back in February, you emailed me and you said, "Hey, Danny, I'm 1 month into recovery from HA. The only sign I've seen of my period returning is increased hunger. My blood work is good, my BMI is good, and my growth plate is wide open. I'm curious how you think this whole process will affect my growing body. How long could it take for the entire recovery process to be over so I can go back to the weight I'm comfortable with and start being able to play sports again? I've also been working out twice a week instead of every day. But that started mostly because I injured my knee. It has not healed this whole time, so it forces me not to do any cardio. All I do in the gym is lift arm weights and do leg machines. On those days I increase calories, although I'm not really tracking. I just make sure that I'm getting at least 2,000 calories a day. Will this delay the process significantly, even if I'm eating enough and seeing a nutritionist?" I think that's an interesting question. How will this impact me as I grow? So if you don't allow yourself to have any hormones throughout the entirety of your puberty years, that is going to really slow things down. I know women who are in their late 20s, basically 30, and they look very, very young. However, in terms of their long-term health outcomes, I can't really speak to that. I think that so long as you can get yourself into a recovered place, you will be able to anatomically heal to the best of your ability, rebuilding bone density and things like this. I don't know how your injury happened. I'm hoping it's not as a result of having HA and having an eating disorder or anything like that. But I see that you're like, when can I go back to the weight that I'm comfortable with? I don't know. I actually have other questions from you where I think you answer some questions about your weight. So let's move to those next questions. But I just want you to know that I want you all to know that I don't know you guys, and I don't have the answer as to when you can go back to a weight you're comfortable with. I don't know what weight you are, and I don't know what weight you're comfortable with, because a lot of the time you guys are only comfortable with something that's not necessarily what your body wants. And so that's a really tough question to answer. No one gets to decide what they're comfortable with. No one gets to decide for their body what it is comfortable with. She messaged me again a month later, and she said, "Hi, I have a question about working out. I started working out twice a week." So yes, she's been working out twice a week this whole time. "I do this because it gives me energy and I don't want to lose weight. I was eating carbs throughout my workout and I eat more on the days I work out, but I stopped getting cervical mucus recently. What could be the reason for this?" So the reason could be that something else changed. So cervical mucus should stop and start depending on whether or not you have ovulated. If you're in HA and you're seeing cervical mucus and then you're not ovulating and it's going away and you're having dry days and then you're then you're seeing cervical mucus again, then I'd say your body is trying and stopping, and there's something that you're being inconsistent with. And it could be the training, the exercise. It could be that, as you mentioned, you're eating 2,000 calories at least. And you may need significantly more than that, depending on the deficit that you're in. This is where one-on-one coaching is really important for people. And I'm not saying "Oh, Petra, you're not going to be successful without that." But it's just context. I don't know enough about you to deeply answer that question and know for sure why that's happened for you, because I would have 100 questions about your lifestyle, school, work, family, relationships, the exercise. Are you doing the same routine and the same weights all the time, or is it changing? Are you leaving things out because you don't want them to be the answer? Like, it's so many things that I look into as a coach that it can be tough. I would suggest for you, I know that you're really young, so it's like you probably don't really have any budget to spend on this, so I do understand, and that's why I'm answering your questions. But I have a period recovery game planner. It's in our store. You go to the hasociety.com/store, and I have a game planner there, and the idea is that it runs through with you everything you should be doing and asks you questions of things you are and are not doing that should take you to a pretty solid place of like your next steps for recovery. That might be a good plan for you. It's only $37 if you can find that. She also said that she's curious about herbal remedies. There are none, so that's the answer to that. And then she asked me about 2 weeks later, "Hi Danny, I've been eating until satisfied, but that has included more food recently. I want to stop snacks after dinner to stop gaining weight, but I also want my period back ASAP. I have been at a healthy weight since I was 120 pounds, and I'm now approaching 140 pounds. I especially feel upset because I don't fit into any of my pants. Can I end the snacking?" I don't know how tall you are, Petra. Again, this is tough. Like, I wonder if I had more context, would I know that your body probably needed to get to 140 pounds? Overshooting weight is really important. Again, you're super young, so my assumption is that like you're under 5'3", but that might not be true. Y'all, my like 11-year-old niece is like 6 foot tall, so I don't understand. But I think you should probably not be stopping your snacks and things like that. I just have this feeling that it's hard to be consistent potentially, Petra. You also might want to ask your parents to just take you for some lab work if you've never had any lab work done, just to confirm that you have HA. And we have a lab guide. If you go to the hasociety.com/lab guide, you can download that, and it will help you understand like what your lab work says compared to what is expected for HA. And if it doesn't really match that, then maybe you want to look elsewhere. But if it does match that and you still have HA and you're not seeing much cervical mucus and things like that, and you know, while 140 pounds from 120 feels like a lot, you're very far from being an abnormal weight or considered obese. I'm 140 pounds. Like, it's just not that big. Okay, guys, look at me. I am 140 pounds. Okay, so you can have HA at 140 pounds. You're not particularly big. It's in your head. If you're coming up from 120 pounds, sure, that's gonna feel a lot, but you had HA, so you were underweight, so you didn't weigh enough, so now you weigh enough. And if you want to go from 120 pounds to 125 pounds, get your period back, that's not reasonable. If you want to go from 100 pounds, 120 to 130, then that's also like not, that's 10 pounds. Like, I get it. I'm with you. I would probably want that too. And the reality is people sometimes gain upwards of 35 pounds. That's HA, right? And she said that she's been at a healthy weight since she was 120 pounds, meaning at one point, Petra, you have been below 120 pounds. So now the feeling of getting to 140 pounds is wild for you. But the truth is, that's normal weight, and you were super underweight, probably. You were also really young, right? So like, there's a big difference between being 10 years old and being 15 years old. There's also an element here where you're going through puberty right now. So you're going through HA and natural puberty at the same time. Your body's going to change a lot. So holding on to what 14-year-old, 13-year-old, 12-year-old Petra look like to now is not reasonable, right? So there's a lot of not reasonable going on here. And then she sent me another question just on the weekend. It says, hey, Danny, today I was not really hungry, like not as hungry as usual. I got my period. Hey! 1 drop of blood a couple of days ago. Could this have something to do with it? I wonder if I should force myself to eat what I usually eat, or if I should listen to my body signals. It's hard to know because I don't know what you were eating before. Just today I had a client where she was forcing herself to eat an amount of food that I actually felt like was probably not fully necessary. So there are times where it makes sense. For you, Petra, I don't know. I have a feeling, like I said earlier, that you're not always as consistent as you need to be because of the stress of the whole situation, which is fair. This is everyone. This is why we're here, to help you be like, yes, be consistent, keep going. But most likely, you do need to continue to allow yourself to eat. Especially if you're still 140 pounds. Let's see, yeah. I feel like I've given a lot to think about, right? About like, okay, I know we feel anxious because we're now 140 when we used to be less than 120. But you're also going through a lot right now at the age of 15. Your body is going to be changing no matter what, whether you had HA or not. I gained a lot of weight. My body changed a lot around that age. It's totally normal and natural, and I think you're seeing the head of two things happening at once: HA recovery and puberty, and you're not really fully allowing your body to do the job that it's designed to do and that it wants to do. And I think that you need to keep eating, and you need to step into the fun of being a teenager. You need to get some lab work just to check that everything makes sense for your age. I'll look at it for you. And if you have a follow-up question, give me some more background on you, your history with food, and your height, and what's going on in your life, and maybe we'll do a future episode. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and it was interesting for any of you. We currently have enrollment for the Restore Your Fertility Group program open right now. Go ahead and learn all about that at thehasociety.com/restore-live. I've mentioned a lot of links today, so I'm going to link them below. It was the recovery game planner, it was the lab guide, and it's the Restore program. And if you have questions you would love to have answered on the show, please do comment them below or DM me, Danny at the HA Society. No, that's my email. DM me at Danny Sheriff. Okay, bye.